As the leading healthcare provider in the Brazos Valley, St. Joseph Health is proud to be the official healthcare provider of Texas A&M Athletics. 73-69, Texas A&M over LSU. Back-to-back wins on this floor. It's never happened before in A&M program history until today. Just a gutty win, along with John Thornton. Buzz Williams joins us courtside. You talked about what's the identity of this team. Buzz, I thought for 40 minutes we saw the identity. There's a whole lot of things that go into the recipe for success. You seem to have all the ingredients today.
I don't know how good we are, but I know we have our best chance when we follow the recipe. And entering today, we had played 160 minutes, and 50 of those minutes we had not done that. And I thought today, despite all the things, all the storylines that could be created from the first half, the second half, I thought our entire group followed the recipe, and that gives us a chance. It doesn't ensure success. We did not follow it for 40 minutes 2 weeks ago today. We did follow it for 40 minutes at Auburn. We followed it for 45 minutes, so I guess it's 165 minutes. 45 minutes against Kentucky. We did not follow it the first 10 minutes, slightly a little bit more against Arkansas. But I thought today, I thought that we did. It's the 111th season of basketball at Texas A&M, and this is the first time that it's ever happened. And so we're grateful for the group that was able to do that. And this is how thin the margin is. So it was a low possession game. So it was a 65 possession game. 65 times we have the ball, 65 times they have the ball. And if you count points per possession. So when we have the ball 65 times, we scored at a rate of 1.12. Pretty good. Defensively, now LSU has the ball. We're on defense. They get the ball 65 times, and they score 1.11. So the margin on the road at 1-3, and a place that at an institution that's never won here 2 times in a row, the margin is going to be 0.01, and it's so difficult emotionally for anybody, not me, for our group, for any program, not LSU, not Texas A&M, just across the country. How can you respond and go to the next thing regardless of result? And then how can you develop a formula so that regardless of opponent, you know that we have to continue to find ways to make the formula 0.01 better over the course of a 9.5-week regular season. And to the credit of our guys, and that speaks to how they were raised and who raised them, they have responded. They responded 13 days ago when we spent the entire 4 hours of our allotted time in the film room, and there was only one voice, and it was me, watching everything that I had clipped out from the last time we had played LSU. Auburn is good enough to win the national championship at their place, top 10 arena to play in. I thought we followed the formula. We lost. I thought in the 45 minutes that we played against Kentucky, more pros on their team than any team arguably in the country, for sure, in this league. And then at Arkansas, the first 10 minutes, just complete yuck. No recipe, no cooking going on, everybody doing their own thing. It won't work. That's the least amount I think Four has played since he was a freshman. And I thought our guys, that's the least amount Henry's played since he got here. He practiced 14 possessions yesterday. Unbelievable toughness to be able to play after what happened against Kentucky. But isn't it like what a way to make a living. Like you're supposed to go to college and get a degree so that you can do this.
Yeah,
and let the world watch you.
Tell Buzz what you were saying, and you keep thinking like you're a broken record. What was the difference you thought in this one?
Well, there's something, but the hardest thing to do in basketball, there's a lot of hard things. But one of the hardest things to do in basketball is the offensive rebound. It's hard. You don't have position. You got to earn position. You're fighting from downhill, trying to go up. And how does this team come across and get that done as well as they do?
Okay, so now on that point, and I've learned a lot over the last 2 years specific to this, to the point that I'm not taking credit. That's all I focus on. I'm the rebounding coach. That's become one of my buckets. So
you get blamed for everything, so you might as well get credit for something. Yeah.
Today, there were 82 rebound opportunities. 82. I'm not talking about where.
Right.
There were 82 rebound opportunities. Not talking about a free throw miss when it's a two-shot foul. We missed enough of those. Now, of the makes, there were 51 makes. Okay, so 82 and 51. The ball shot, and you have to do your job on the rise of the shot, not knowing the result.
Right.
You don't know if they're going to make it or miss it.
Yeah.
And then to your point, on the rise to do your job, not knowing if there's even going to be a rebound, it's a fight.
It is.
And our guys have been so receptive to this, and it's kind of evolved and morphed into, to some degree, we put even more pressure on foreign boots.
Yeah, they do.
Because before they even shoot, if foreign boots can't shoot, they don't have an outlet to throw it to somebody, because whoever that somebody is, he's already on his way. And
right.
I'm like, hey, we hadn't shot the ball yet. So we turned the ball over at a really low rate, 2% against Arkansas, and today we turned it over at a low rate of 7%. That's really good. But there's a heavy burden on foreign boots to begin with. But there's an even more of a pressure to begin with on there's nobody to throw it to.
Right.
Because with the sledgehammer every day in practice,
they know.
In the film room.
The expectation.
So they had shot one more ball than we had at halftime. And in the second half, we shot 10 more balls than they did. And you don't think that that's a huge number. No, that is the number. So they beat us on the glass at their place. They had 14 offensive rebounds. We had 13. They beat us on the defensive glass. They beat us.
Yeah, and that hadn't been happening at all.
So today we beat them. We beat them on the offensive glass 21-6. They beat us on the defensive glass 28-27. But we offensive rebounded 43% of our misses, and we defensive rebounded 82%. And I tell our guys before the game, here's the number. The number's 6.5. If you get 6.5, it's a win. If we don't get 6.5, here's how it's going to be a two-possession game. We have to be plus 40% offensive rebound percentage. We have to be plus 80% defensive rebound percentage. If we can't do that, the line is 6.5. We have to get 6.5 turkeys. We finished with 5 turkeys.
Isn't that something? You called that out in the pregame.
But it's just the numbers. It's the numbers of it all. And those numbers, it's still going to be 0.01.
Speaking of turkeys, and I'm going to say this, and I may see what you think about this, but the last 3 minutes of this ball game, they're as tough a team to guard on the dribble as there is. Because there's a bunch of guys that are going to beat you and they're going to kick.
Number 3 is really good. Number 6 is really good. Number 2 has played out of his mind since 1 got hurt. And number 15, 70% of his shots have been from 3, and he's shooting 55%. And at times they have played 0, 3, and 6 together, and you can't. They're hard to guard any of them 3 off the bounce. 9 is just as skilled on the perimeter as he is inside, and 20 and 13 are going to shoot 1 3 a game. And let's see.
Well, Derek was feeling it now.
Number
he went
13
1 for 3.
didn't shoot 1.
Yeah.
Number 20 didn't shoot 1. No, that's wrong.
Jalen hit
Number
2.
13 hit 2, and number 20 hit 1. Defensively, I would say We forced them to the highest percentage of field goal attempts from 3 for the season. Our ball screen coverage was as good as it's been all year because they're so good off ball screens. At their place, I told the kids this. We don't talk in this language, but they beat us on the glass, and we talk about how we study that. But I never say this to our group because it doesn't it's too much info. They beat us on second chance points. It doesn't mean that off the rebound they immediately scored it. It just means they got an offensive rebound and they have a second opportunity within the same possession. They beat us 18-3.
Wow.
Today, we beat them 27-0.
Amazing.
But you have to get them first. It doesn't mean that even when you get them, you're going to make them. But we've got to shoot more balls. I thought Jace was. I thought it was his best game.
Physical.
I thought Boots was Boots.
How about
Andy's hard to take off the floor.
What about Solo and his presence in the
blocking shots?
He had when Solo is mature, Solo's as good a prospect as there is on our team when he's mature. When he's not mature and he fouls out in 15 minutes, we struggle.
Yeah. One of the things, Buzz, that I thought late game was because of the way you play defense. There's multiple ways you play defense, but people end up guarding people that are irregular. And they did such a great job, whether it was Anderson or Solo or Jace or even Boots. They had to match up when it wasn't great matchups, but they kept the people from penetrating, and they settled for shots.
4 hits the shot. I'm calling timeout before he shoots it. 4 hits the shot after being down 20. 4 hits the shot to go up 1. Call timeout to prevent celebration. We're up 1, and we're running our front court pressure, of which we don't. Last year, playing Florida, up 66-63, 6.3 seconds left. Timeout, front court pressure. Dex is at the front. Dre's on the second line. And they dribble out the clock. So I show our team on Thursday 4 hitting the shot. We walk through what was said in the huddle. Then I show them us doing cold, front court pressure at Florida. Walk through it. Then I show them the last possession at Arkansas. No execution. Then yesterday in practice, before we left, I created the scenario. I called timeout. I subbed those 5 guys in. Solo's fouled out in 12 minutes. Wilden's fouled out. Eli's having to play in a unique spot. Boots is playing a different spot. We play it out in practice. It works perfectly. And I tell our guys right then, guys, it's going to happen 4 more times before the season's over.
Yeah.
It's going to happen 4 more times. All 4 times when it happens, we have to do this. And that's what I just told them in there. It played out just like that. Again, a little bit more time on the clock. But in regards to what you're saying, Coach, the front court pressure allowed us to make it predictable what they were going to do.
Jace looked a little like Dex on that Jalen Cook shot where he can defend without
it
fouling.
Hurt Jace's feelings, but it wasn't Jace's fault.
No, I'm talking about Cook here.
Yeah, he did good. Jace did good.
Yeah.
Jace's feelings were hurt at Arkansas, and I'm telling him in the locker room, no. I ain't going to talk about that today, but next time I see you, I'll talk about it. That wasn't you.
Right.
It was you and the 4 guys with you. Mm-hmm. And then today, Jace is at the front again, and 4, who's shooting a free throw, 4 is hollering. Because when we did it in practice, 4 put his hands on his head. He's like, that's all we got to do. And I go, that's why we did it. Yeah, because that's all we had to do. But we didn't do it. But we have to be held accountable to the lessons that are coming our way because they're going to keep coming. That was the only thing I wrote on the board. God keeps giving you the same test. Life is ball. It's not a class. You don't bomb the first test and then figure out how to do better on homework and projects and get a lot of tutoring for the rest of the tests. Life is like ball, in my opinion, whatever higher power you believe in. You're going to keep getting the same test over and over and over until you pass it. And literally today we got the same test that we got against Arkansas. And I also told them 2 years ago, not last year, 2 years ago, it's their ball, side out of bounds, and Shaq's son hit that corner three on sideline out of bounds, and we were in our zone defense. So in the last huddle, guys, zone, and this is what they're going to run. That's what they ran. And we finished with well, it actually ended up being a foul, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Congratulations on this one, Buzz. Thank you so much for joining us.
And then we're supposed to do it again on Tuesday.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the rumor.
Which means wake up again early tomorrow.
You got it. Thanks, Buzz.